Hey peeps, I'm Gladianne from Heart Take the Wheel, and you are watching another episode of 3 for Thursday, where I share 3 things about something on Thursday. Or I guess rather in this episode, it's Erin sharing 3 things about something on Thursday. So let me explain. I have been receiving quite a few requests from you guys via DM and email about LinkedIn and about telling you guys and doing some 3 for Thursdays on the topic of LinkedIn. And I want to help you, but here's the thing. I don't really know a whole lot about LinkedIn, and I'm actually kind of navigating that, that platform myself. So what I decided to do was phone a friend, and so that's where Erin comes in. So Erin is a freaking phenomenal person. I'll let her introduce herself, and she's not here right now, obviously, so this is going to be fun. We are going to basically really quickly teleport you over and up a few states, and you can meet Erin. And then here's what I've asked her to do. I have asked her to go to my profile on LinkedIn and basically tell me what I'm doing wrong. So she's gonna find 3 things wrong, 3 tips, 3 whatever I haven't seen yet, so we're gonna do this together, guys. 3 things on my profile that she has advice or tips or she'd like to see different, and hopefully through that, you and I can learn together, like kind of how to level up our presence on LinkedIn. So if LinkedIn is something that you're interested in, stick around and we will go meet Erin and she will dive into my profile, and then I'll see you back here after all that. Okay, let's go say hi to Erin.
Hey everyone, my name's Erin Sanchez and I'm a writer, storyteller, and a business coach helping entrepreneurs get visible, credible, and memorable online. But more importantly, I'm a friend of Gladys and I'm honored to participate in her 3 for Thursday video series. Today, Gladys asked me to take a look at her LinkedIn profile and recommend 3 changes she should make to that profile. Remember, I'm not picking on her, she asked me to do this. Let's get started. All right, so we're on Gladys' LinkedIn profile, and you might be wondering, why does it matter? Isn't a profile on LinkedIn basically just an online resume? And the answer is sort of, but LinkedIn has definitely been making some strides in kind of, trying to play with the big boy social media channels, right? So ever since Microsoft got involved, especially, they've invested a lot of money in sort of bringing the platform up to speed and making it more of a community site than just a job search and resume site. So the more active you are on LinkedIn, the more profile views you're going to get. And those profile views mean people either click over, see something that they don't really, they're not really compelled by, and they click away, or they land on your profile and they immediately know they're in the right place. You can provide the services or whatever it is that you offer that they need, and then they start exploring your profile, and then they can connect, reach out, whatever, right? And that leads to sales. So you want to make sure this profile is in tip-top shape. Let's look. Gladys asked me to give her 3 recommendations for things I would change about her profile for her 3 for Thursday video. The first thing I noticed, and probably the first thing you notice, is the banner area. Now, this is because, it's right at the top of the page, and it's probably takes up a 5th or a 6th of the whole screen, right? It's prime real estate. And for you and I, we know Gladys, we know that this plant is on brand. But for other people coming here that might be interested in what she had to say about photography or whatever, it doesn't really show them a whole lot about who she is or what she does, right? So until they get to know her, the plant doesn't mean a whole lot. So I do give her kudos for actually changing the banner, because a lot of people just leave the generic blue LinkedIn banner, and that's definitely not doing you any favors. It doesn't make you stand out at all. What I recommend my clients do, instead of just using a photo, is to create a custom graphic. And I'll show you on my profile what I mean. So you can see I just created this in Canva. You could use Photoshop if that's more your speed, but I'm more of a Canva. I don't know how to use all those Adobe products very well. So what you'll see here is another picture of me, and that's not because I'm egotistical or anything like that. It's because people connect with other people. They want to see the human behind the brand. This just further sort of sets, my personal brand up. And so Gladys could do this with a picture of her holding a plant. I know she has some of those. So that starts to create that brand, and also, tells people a little bit more about who she is and what she does. Then over here, I have a little blurb that tells people they're in the right place. You don't have to do this, but I like having just some kind of like tagline or something. So people go, oh, story, like, yeah, that's why I'm here. I want to tell my story. I want to share it with the world, whatever. They know that I'm a writer, or at least they get a hint of it, right? They get a taste for it. Then over here, I've got my logos, or not my logos, but logos from media where I've been featured or where my writing has been featured. And this gives me credibility. Now, Gladys could use logos from her clients if she has some big names, or she could also do a testimonial from a client, right? Something that tells people, this is what her photography did for me, and that gives her credibility as well. That's social proof, right? And over here, I've got a call to action. So obviously it's not clickable, but it still tells people what they can expect to get by contacting me, right? So book a free discovery call. Gladys might say, book a free coffee chat, because I know she does those to kind of connect with potential leads. And it could say something like an offer that she has, first headshot free. I'm just making that up, so don't try to get that deal out of Gladys, but you get the idea. So on Gladys, I would probably have, if her testimonial, it doesn't have to be designed exactly like mine, of course, but if her testimonial is text instead of logos, she might include that over here, picture of herself here, and then the call to action. And I do think the call to action should be on the right side, regardless of how else you design your banner, because in Western cultures, at least, we read from left to right. And so you land on that and you go, okay, it sticks with you. And then you move down to see how to get in touch, right? So that's change number one. I think it's worth mentioning that Gladys has a really good profile picture. And the reason I mention this is because often with my clients, this will be one of the first things to recommend they change. So I thought it'd be helpful to let you guys know as well that this does matter. She has a good portrait here that shows who she is. It definitely shows a little bit of her style, right? It's good quality. You don't want one that's 20 years old, that's blurry, that's your cat or a tree or something. Trust me, that happens on LinkedIn more than you would think. So just worth mentioning. Now, the second thing I would recommend Gladys change is, I wouldn't actually recommend she change her bio because it's really good. I just want her to add one thing to it. So first, let's talk about why it's good. She does a great job of including keywords in here. And keywords matter just like they do for SEO or for your website, right? Because people search for brand photographers, they search for headshot photographers, product and stock photographers, business photographers, and she's got all of those keywords in here, so she will pop up in people's search results. The other smart thing she does is include her city. So if you have local services, it's a good idea to include your city there, because when people look for a St. George photographer, likely Gladys is going to show up, right? So she actually does a really good job here, but I would recommend she puts a benefit statement, just a quick blurb at the beginning of her bio that tells people, potential clients, what transformation they can experience. And I would have to chat with Gladys about that to come up with something really strong, but basically, to give you an idea what I mean, it's like saying up-level your brand with photos that X, right? Something that tells people not just what you do or the features of your business, the services, but the benefit. In copywriting and messaging, the benefits always come before the features. So let's look at my profile again real quick. I tell people that they can get visible, credible, and memorable online. So that's not the details of what I do. I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller, I'm a coach. Those are what I do. This is telling people how I'm going to transform their business, okay? And let me give you a little cheat tip here, right? So if you update this from desktop, you're going to run into character count limits. But if you update it from mobile, you'll still have limits, but it's actually bigger, more characters than when you update from desktop. I don't know if that's a LinkedIn bug or what, but it does work. So just something to keep in mind. If you need a little bit more characters to get that statement in there, then you might consider updating it from mobile. So really quickly before I move on to the third thing, I just want to point out that these two things, or three if you count a profile photo, are so incredibly important because they are all what we would call in old media above the fold, right? So if you think about a newspaper, you know, people want like front page, they want to be on the front page. That's where all like the big, all the attention goes, right? Or if you did something really bad, you don't want to be on the front page, right? You don't want to make front page news. But either way, it's not just front page, it's the top half of the front page, because newspapers are displayed folded in half, right? And you see that top half of the front page. So when you sort of translate that idea over to web, the above the fold area is your prime real estate, because it's the first thing people see when they land before they even scroll. If you want people to scroll and learn more about you, you've got to make sure this above the fold area is super optimized, right? Now people are interested because they see how she can transform their brand. They see that she's credible because of her new banner, right? And that they can get on a call with her. So they scroll and they're going to find her summary. So this is the third thing I would recommend Gladdy change. Again, Gladdy's good with marketing. She's good with words, so it's not bad. You know, I've seen way more terrible profiles out there. So it's good, but I do recommend changing a few things about it. Number one, the way text looks matters, especially online where people have really short attention spans. So if you look at mine compared to hers, you know, Gladdy's got a block of text there, right? And mine is spread out, basically bullet points. I've got subheadings here, right? So that people can skim. People want to skim, okay? So they're gonna skim this paragraph and they're just like business owners, okay, coffee, right? And they see photography here, but they're just skimming. And so really you want to make it easy for them to understand right away how you can help them. So I would recommend Gladdy put some subheadings and little sections together and then just bullet point what she can do for people. Here's what my client wins are. Here's what I can do for you. Here's how you can get in touch with me, right? And you don't have to use emojis. It depends on your vibe and your brand. I don't particularly like how they look on desktop. I like how they look on mobile, but I'm a content marketer, so it makes sense for me to use emojis. So I just recommend that you kind of break up your text so it doesn't appear in one big block. Make it easy to skim, put some subheadings in there, make it just, bullet pointed. And of course, what Gladdy does here very well, make sure you have at least one call to action, if not a couple. Here's how to get a hold of me. Here's where else to follow me, right? So this is smart because she said, let's get on a coffee chat. And that's where she starts to build connections and relationships with people. And she says, follow me on Instagram. And for Gladdy, this is a very smart move because her Instagram is basically her portfolio, right? She has a beautiful Instagram feed and it's all her own photography. So people can learn a little bit more about her there. So there you have it. Those are the three things I would recommend Gladdy change about her LinkedIn profile. And I think they're probably applicable to you too. They are usually, the three things that I recommend to everyone. So I hope you find that helpful.
All right, guys, those are the 3 tips I have for Gladdy, and I hope you find them useful for updating your LinkedIn profile as well. Remember, the banner, the bio, and the summary are all very important pieces to making your profile something people want to stick around on, explore, and convert from leads into buyers. And don't forget that all-important profile picture. If you have any questions about LinkedIn or you want me to look at your LinkedIn profile, maybe give some feedback or just connect with me, leave a link or your question in the comments and I'll make sure to monitor those, and I know Gladdy will too. Again, I want to thank Gladdy for having me on her 3 for Thursday video series. It was a lot of fun participating, and you can find me all across social media at Candidly Erin and online at candidlyerin.com. Thanks so much for watching.
Alright, so I don't know about you guys, but I took notes. I took lots of notes. So this was so freaking helpful. Guys, she is jam-packed full of insightful information about LinkedIn, and I'm just like, now I can't wait to, you know, give her a call and get more deep diving into how I can super optimize my summary area, break up that text like she said. Seriously, great freaking tips. That prime real estate, she's so right. It's all about that prime real estate. I really need to focus on how I want to redo my banner. Stay tuned to my Instagram because I'm certain I will share on stories when I make my changes following Erin's advice. I would love to see you guys do like a before and after, maybe see you make those transformations based off this YouTube video. I think that would be really awesome. And it might help other people too, especially if you tag me on stories or whatever, then I can share that story and we could see other people making changes to their LinkedIn profile. So let me know, what was your favorite kind of tip? She gave like insider information too with that, like the bio thing. Man, seriously, she's a freaking wealth of information. I am lucky to have her as a friend, but she's talented. So I will see you in the next 3 for Thursday. Be sure to let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see. As you see, I do my best effort to supply you with that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.